Welcome to DOB Now Safety for Boiler Compliance Filings. Today, we'll talk about DOB Now. We'll let you know where to go for help. We'll talk about the requirements for e-filing. Then, we'll log in and navigate within DOB Now Safety, file a boiler inspection report, correct defects, pay for and file multiple reports, submit a filing for an unregistered boiler, file an extension request, and pay civil penalties. Let's talk a little bit about DOB Now. DOB Now is the Department of Buildings' web-based online portal that gives owners, design professionals, and licensees the ability to conduct their business with the DOB online. DOB Now consists of 4 components. DOB Now Build is where you can file applications for projects and request permits. DOB Now Inspections is where you can request and schedule inspections. DOB Now Licensing, coming in 2018, is where you will be able to manage your licenses online. And DOB Now Safety, what we'll discuss today, is used for annual compliance filings. DOB Now is created for you, our customers, to improve your experience with the Department of Buildings. DOB Now will make doing business with the DOB more convenient by allowing you to create, pay for, and submit filings from the convenience of your computer, resulting in fewer trips to a borough office or a DOB location. You'll have more access to information and will be able to see exactly where your filings are in the approval process. You'll know if the DOB is reviewing your filing or if the DOB is waiting for you to take action. Building owners and applicants will have access to real-time information, increasing transparency. And with the move from paper forms to digital, processing time should improve. Resources for DOB Now can be found on the Department of Buildings website. Go to www.nyc.gov/DOB Now info. There you'll find answers to frequently asked questions, detailed process manuals, this training presentation, and short tip sheets and videos to help you. Also from the Department of Buildings website, you can subscribe to Buildings News, the monthly DOB newsletter. As part of your subscription, you'll receive DOB Now Digest, a publication dedicated to updates on DOB Now. If you need more individual support, you can contact DOB Customer Service from the login page of DOB Now by clicking the Need More Help Contact Us link or by going directly to www.nyc.gov/DOB Now Help. The requirements for annual boiler compliance filings have not changed. So annual inspection reports are required for low-pressure boilers in residential buildings with 6 or more dwellings, in single-room occupancy or SRO dwellings, and low-pressure boilers in mixed-use or commercial buildings. In addition, H-stamp domestic hot water heaters with more than 350,000 BTUs require an annual inspection. For high-pressure boilers, they require 2 inspections per year, 1 internal and 1 external inspection. These inspections must be conducted by an authorized insurance company inspector and must be conducted within the same cycle, but approximately 6 months apart. Let's discuss some of the key dates and changes coming with DOB Now. For the 2016 boiler inspection cycle, which ends December 31st, 2017, you should continue to file in person. In-person filings for the 2017 boiler inspection cycle ended on July 28th. And beginning August 14th, any new 2017 boiler inspection reports must be filed in DOB Now Safety. By 2018, all filings will be done in DOB Now Safety. There are several processes that will not be done in DOB Now at this time. One is the OP49 for the removal of an existing boiler, you'll continue to file paper forms for that. And the BDL1 batch intake form is not enabled within DOB Now. And payment of violations, for example, a penalty for failing to file, you would also continue to pay in person. Before using DOB Now, you'll need to register for e-filing. When it comes to boiler inspection reports, there are three main groups of individuals that need to register for e-filing. Owners or their representatives, which would include building owners, managing agents, representatives such as a family member, property managers, or building managers. For licensed professionals, that includes master plumbers, oil burner installers, and high-pressure boiler operators. And the final group is insurance agency inspectors certified by New York State. Keep in mind that a licensed professional or insurance agency inspector cannot serve as an owner representative. If you're already registered for e-filing, there's no need to register again. Your user ID and password will work with DOB Now Safety. However, if you haven't registered yet, you'll need to go to the Department of Buildings website to register. You can access the e-filing site by going directly to www.nyc.gov/DOB e-filing. There, you'll click the Register for Electronic Filing button just below the login screen. When you click that button, you will be taken to the enrollment form where you'll enter the email address that you'll use as your user ID and create a password. You'll also enter your contact details. For individuals with licenses, they will ask for your business information and details about your license. Let's walk through the process for our key constituents. So owner and owner reps have a very straightforward process for registering for e-filing. They will go to the e-filing website, complete their registration form, and submit. They'll get a verification email, and they'll click the link in that email. And once they do that, they'll be confirmed and ready to go in DOB Now Safety. For insurance agency inspectors, you will also complete the registration form and submit it. You'll receive a verification email. When you click the link in that email, it will take you to a summary page, which is called the authentication form. You'll print that form, sign, date, and notarize it, and then submit your application and your credentials to the DOB via email at boilersafety@buildings.nyc.gov. Once the DOB has reviewed your information, they will let you know when you've been confirmed and can start using DOB Now Safety. For licensed professionals, you'll also complete the e-filing registration form and click Submit. When you receive the verification email, click the link which will take you to your authentication form, print that form, sign, date, and notarize the form, and then take that form along with a copy of your credentials to LAA on the 5th floor at 280 Broadway. There, your registration will be reviewed and you'll receive confirmation when you're set up. For insurance agency inspectors, you'll send a PDF version of your authentication form and a scanned version of your New York State Department of Labor Certificate of Competence to Boiler Safety at buildings.nyc.gov. And for licensed professionals, you'll want to mail or deliver your form to the LAA unit at 280 Broadway on the 5th floor in Manhattan. As we move away from paper forms to online, there will also be some new terminology. So the B09 will now be called the Initial Inspection Report. The B013 will now be referred to as a subsequent inspection report, and the BO13E will be known simply as an extension request. You'll also notice in DOB Now that the boiler device number format has changed. It will now be a 16-digit code, starting with a borough code, 1 for Manhattan, 2 for the Bronx, 3 for Brooklyn, 4 for Queens, 5 for Staten Island. That will be followed by a 10-digit number, and then a multiple dwelling flag, Y for yes and N for no, and then lastly the serial number. And this 16-digit code will appear in DOB Now and will be used going forward. To prepare to access DOB Now Safety, the DOB recommends using Internet Explorer 9. If you're a user of DOB Now inspections, you'll know that Internet Explorer 9 is the preferred browser. So if you're using both applications, you'll want to stick with IE9. Please note, though, that DOB Now Safety does work in Internet Explorer versions higher than 9 and in Google Chrome. Something else you'll notice about the application is that it opens a number of new windows. We recommend turning off your pop-up blockers or setting DOB Now as a trusted site to ensure that the windows open. To disable your pop-up blockers, you would go to the settings area in your internet browser. Let's pause for a minute and ask a few questions. True or false? Beginning August 14th, all 2017 boiler compliance filings must be submitted electronically in DOB Now Safety. If you answered true, you were correct. Keep in mind that 2016 filings will continue with the old process, filing in person or by mail, and beginning August 14th, all 2017 boiler inspection reports must be filed in DOB Now. Who should register an e-filing to use DOB Now? There are 3 main groups: owners and owner representatives, licensed professionals, and insurance agency inspectors certified by New York State. Let's now sign on to DOB Now Safety. You can access DOB Now directly by going to the website www.nyc.gov/DOB Now. When you enter that URL, you will be brought to the DOB Now login page. The left 2/3 of the screen are the DOB Now public portal. This is a site that is accessible to the general public without a user ID or password required, where you can look up information about a property by address, building identification number or BIN, borough block lot, or you can look for a device such as a boiler. To the right is the DOB Now login screen. In that screen, you'll enter your registered e-filing email address and password and click Login. If you have issues with your account or can't remember your password, click the Can't Access Your Account link to be taken to e-filing help. If you need more personal support, click the Need More Help, Contact Us button to get in contact with DOB customer service. If you enter the wrong credentials into DOB Now or forget your website, you may receive a message such as this. Click the link to be taken to the DOB e-filing help center. We've logged in successfully to DOB Now, and now we're going to select Safety and choose Boilers. When we do that, we'll be taken to our dashboard. And a dashboard is exactly what it sounds like. It's your one place to see all of your information related to boiler compliance filings. Let's delve a little deeper into the dashboard. At the top of the dashboard, you'll see a series of orange buttons. Plus Boiler Inspection Report, where you would create a new boiler inspection report. Plus Boiler Extension Request, to create an extension request. And plus Make Civil Penalties Payment, where you could pay any civil penalties. Below that are 3 tabs. The tab that is highlighted in white is the tab that is active. So in this example, Boiler Inspection Reports. And to click between the tabs, just click on one of the gray tabs and the site will move to that view. We have 3 tabs here: Boiler Inspection Reports, Boiler Extension Requests, and Boilers Not Registered. Below that, you'll see 3 radio buttons, and these serve as filters. So the first is Not Ready to File. These are filings that have been entered and saved at least once, but are not ready to be submitted to the Department of Buildings. The Ready to File section shows complete filings that have been paid for, but are not yet submitted. And lastly, the Filed button will take you to a list of all the filings that have been submitted to the DOB. Within each of the different lists, you will see columns, and there are 2 that I want to draw your attention to. One is Defects Exist, which will list yes or no, depending on whether defects have been reported for a particular advice. And the column next to that, Compliance Report Status, which would show the status of your filings. And let's review those available statuses. We mentioned the first one already, pre-filing, which is where you've started to create a report, but it has not yet been submitted. There are certain situations where a filing will need to be reviewed by the Department of Buildings. So if you see a status of QA Supervisor Review or QA Review, that means that the DOB is reviewing your filing. Incomplete submission will occur when the DOB reviews your filing and determines that it might be missing something. Rejected filing fee due has to do with fee-exempt filings. If after review the DOB determines that the building is not fee-exempt and is subject to filing fees, your report will be stamped with a status of rejected filing fee due. The next status is accepted, and that means that the filing is complete and has been accepted by the DOB. And then accepted civil penalties due means that the DOB has accepted the filing, however, penalties are due, for example, late fees. And because we are online, we're able to send you notifications at critical stages of the filing process. So the owner and the applicant will receive emails when your filing progresses. The emails will come from DOB Now Do Not Reply email box, and we've heard that some of these emails have been getting caught by spam filter. So if you submit your initial filing and do not receive a confirmation email, be sure to check your junk mail folder and set the email sender as a safe sender. Now let's file an initial inspection report. There are basically 8 steps to completing a boiler inspection report, and we'll walk through each one of those. Keep in mind that only licensed professionals or insurance agency inspectors can create new boiler inspection reports. Also, you'll need to enter the owner's registered email address at the time of creating your filing. So it's important to ensure that the owner is registered in e-filing prior to creating a report, and that you have that owner's email address to enter into the filing. So let's walk through a scenario. You're a licensed professional filing a 2017 initial inspection report for a boiler. You use the building ID number, or BIN, to search for the device. The device is a low-pressure boiler, and it has one defect. We'll start on our dashboard and click the plus Boiler Inspection Report. This will open the Boiler Inspection Report form. Let's take a look at the form. At the top of the form is the progress bar. This will track the status of your filing. Below that on the left is the Save button, and you'll want to save your work frequently. To the right of the Save button, about 2/3 of the way across the form, is the Back to Dashboard button. Click that whenever you're in a filing and need to return to your dashboard. Over in the left, near the number 4, is the form navigation, and this will list the sections of the form and guide you through completing the filing. The center section is where the data entry occurs. And then over to the right are the application highlights, which shows a summary of the filing and calculates the fees associated. As we navigate through the form, you'll notice a number of fields with red asterisks. The red asterisk means that a field is required and must be completed before submitting. You'll also see a number of gray shaded fields that are read-only fields, and that's because many of the fields are populated from other systems. For example, property information is being pulled in from the Building Information System, or BIS, and your contact details are being pulled in from your e-filing registration. Let's take a look at creating a new boiler inspection report. We'll start on the DOB Now homepage and enter our email address and e-filing password and click Login. We'll click Safety and select Boilers, and we'll be taken to our dashboard. From there, we'll click Plus Boiler Inspection Report. We'll select the filing year, and there are a number of ways to search. We said we would search by building ID, so we'll click the building ID radio button, enter the building number, and click Search. This will bring up a list of boilers at that location. We'll select the boiler, confirm the inspection type, and select the inspection date. Then we'll click Add to add the device to the report. We'll get a confirmation message and we'll click OK. We'll be brought to the property information section where we'll enter the occupancy type and the total number of residential units. Next, we'll be taken to the owner information where we'll enter their registered e-filing email address. We'll tab out of that field and select the owner type. Notice how their contact details populate. Then we'll scroll down and select our license type in the applicant information section. At this point, it's important to save the filing. We'll click Save and then click the confirmation. And once you do that, you notice that the device details will load and a tracking number will be assigned. In the boiler information section, we'll enter the BTUs. We'll select the fuel type. We'll confirm the location information and the floor. And then we'll enter the device location details. Then we'll click Save again. And click OK on the confirmation message. We've now completed the first part of our boiler inspection report. If you attempt to make a filing that is not applicable to your license type, you'll get a message. So this message shows that only low-pressure boiler inspection reports can be filed with your license type. As we mentioned earlier, only authorized insurance agency inspectors can make filings for high-pressure boilers. Also, only one initial inspection report per device is allowed per year. So if a report has already been filed and accepted by the Department of Buildings, you'll receive a notification that you're not allowed to file another report. In addition, when you click Save, if you've forgotten to enter information in any of the required fields, the system will let you know by giving you a message that says, please fill highlighted fields in red. In the left navigation, it'll place a red exclamation point to guide you to where the missing information is. And then the fields that need to be completed will be outlined in red. In our scenario, our boiler had one defect, so let's add that defect now. We'll start on our dashboard. We'll locate our filing, double-click on it, and click Yes to open. We'll click on Device Details, and at the bottom where it says Manage Defects, we'll click to expand that section, and we'll click Add Defect. We'll select the defect type, the boiler part, the violating condition, and the remedy. Then we'll add comments and click Save. Defect saved successfully. We'll click OK. Then we'll read our statement and check the box to affix our electronic signature. At that point, we'll save the filing again. Let's click the Back to Dashboard button, and you'll notice in the Defects Exist column, it now says yes. The next step is to upload required documents. Licensed professionals must upload their seal and signature with every filing, and the DOB requires you to use the DPL-1 form for your signature and seal. The DPL-1 form is available from the Department of Buildings website in the Forms section. Once you complete the DPL-1, sign, date, and seal, you can scan that into a PDF file, and you can use the same seal and signature for up to a year from the date signed. For fee-exempt filings, an ACRIS report is required. You can locate the required report by going to the Finance Property Information site at the URL listed here and searching for the address and finding the final assessment roll. You want to print and scan the web page or save it as a PDF, and you'll be asked to upload a valid ACRIS report into DOB Now for any fee-exempt filings. Let's take a look at uploading required documents. From inside the filing, we'll go to the Documents section and click Add Documents. We'll enter a document name and select the document type from the pick list. We'll click Choose File, and that will take us to our computer where we can locate the document, highlight it, and click Open. Then we'll click Confirm, and the document will upload. Then let's save our filing. You can also review the document by clicking the little paper and pencil icon. As I mentioned, to view the document that you've uploaded, you can click the paper and pencil icon, and if you upload an incorrect document, click the trash can icon to delete it. Acceptable formats are PDFs and JPEGs. Avoid using any special characters in the file name, and keep in mind that files can be no larger than 500 megabytes. The next step is to sign the attestation. Before you can sign a filing, you need to ensure that all required information has been entered in general information, device details, and documents. Let's select the statements and signatures. We'll review the information, check the box, which adds our name and date, and then click Save. From there, we'll go on to the next step. So we've made it through the first 6 steps of completing our boiler inspection report. Now it's time to pay the filing fees. Our scenario is that we're an owner and an inspector sends a notification that a boiler inspection report is complete and asks you to pay the filing fee. Before submitting a filing, the fees must be paid, and anyone associated with the filing can make payments. You can also pay for up to 25 boilers at one time, and we'll show you how to do that in just a bit. You can pay electronically by e-check, credit card, or debit card. Keep in mind, though, that credit and debit card payments are subject to a 2.49% convenience fee. So to avoid that charge, e-check is your best option. You can pay from the dashboard. So this is a picture of the owner's dashboard. They would go to the Not Ready to File tab. They would locate a filing where it said due in the payment status. They would check the box next to the filing and then click the Pay Now button. Similarly, the licensed professional dashboard, they would also go to the Not Ready to File tab, check the box next to the boiler, and click the Pay Now button. Let's take a look how you can pay for a boiler inspection report from within the filing. Within the filing, we'll go to the Pay Now button. A summary of the payment will show up, and we'll click Pay Now. Click Confirm to continue. You'll be taken to the CityPay payment site, where you'll want to read the terms and conditions and check the I agree box, and then select Continue. Since we're paying with credit card, we'll switch to the credit card tab. We'll enter our credit card information and billing address, and then we'll click Continue. We'll be taken to a summary. Then we'll read the statement at the end, check the box. The Process Payment button activates. We'll click that. Our payment processes, and we receive a printable receipt. Let's pause for a couple of questions. Do I need to pay the filing fee before I can submit a filing? The correct answer is yes. And who can pay for a filing? Any registered e-filer that's associated with the filing, including the owner, licensed professional, or insurance agency inspector, can submit the fees. The final step is to file our boiler inspection report. You're a licensed professional and would like to check the status of a filing to determine if it's ready to file. You locate the filing, it's ready to file, so you submit it. We'll start from our dashboard and go to the Ready to File tab this time. We'll highlight the boiler and select File. Are you sure you want to file selected boilers? Select Yes. Boiler inspection report filed successfully. Then you can click the File tab, and you'll notice that your filing has moved to that Filed tab. You'll also receive an email confirmation once your filing has been submitted. If you want to print a copy of your boiler inspection report, you'll need to go to the filing itself and go to the Device Details section. In the light orange bar next to the tracking number, you'll click the Preview button. A PDF version of the report will display in your browser window where you can save or print. We've completed filing our boiler inspection report. Let's pause for some questions. How can I check the status of a compliance filing in DOB Now Safety? You'll remember that we navigated to the Files view in our dashboard in our Boiler Inspection Report tab, and we looked at the Compliance Report Status column. Who can submit a boiler compliance filing? Only licensed professionals and insurance agency inspectors can actually click the File button for compliance filings. Let's move on to our next scenario. Defects have been corrected on this device, and the BO13 has been renamed in DOB Now and is now called a subsequent boiler inspection report. A licensed professional creates a subsequent BIR to indicate that defects have been corrected. From our dashboard, we'll go to the Files tab of the Boiler Inspection Reports, and under Filing Action, select File Subsequent. Do you want to file subsequent? Say yes. Select the boiler. It will let you know that an initial inspection has already been filed, and we'll say OK. Then we'll confirm the inspection type and select the inspection date. And then we'll click Add to add the device to the report. Just as before, we'll go to the property information, enter the occupancy type, and the total number of residential units. In the owner section, we'll enter the owner's registered e-filing email and select the owner type. Then we'll scroll down to the applicant information and confirm our license type. At this point, as you remember, it's important to save the filing. The device details will appear, and just as before, we'll enter the BTUs. We'll scroll down and select the fuel type. We'll confirm the located in and the floor number, and we'll enter device location details. Then we'll expand the Manage Defects tab, and we'll click the Edit button to open the defect we previously reported, and the defect status is now editable. We'll click the down arrow and select Corrected, and we'll add our comments. And then click Save. We'll review our statement, check the box to add our signature, and click Save. Click OK to confirm. Then we'll go to the Documents section, and we'll click Add a New Document. This is the fee-exempt filing, so we're required to add a valid accuracy report. So we'll name the report, name the file, select accuracy report from document type, and then click Choose File. We'll be taken to our computer where we can select and open the document, and then click Confirm to add to the report. Then we'll need to add our seal and signature. We'll select the document type. We'll click Choose File, and we'll locate the file on our computer, highlight it, and click Open, and then select Confirm, and click the confirmation. Now we'll go to Statements and Signatures. We'll check the box to affix our electronic signature and click Save. And then we can file since no fees are due. Are you sure you want to file? Yes. Boiler inspection report filed successfully. Click OK. Keep in mind that when you are correcting defects in a subsequent report, if you find new defects, you are able to add those as well. All you would do is select the New Defects tab, which appears next to the reported defects in the Manage Defects section. You would click plus Add Defect, and then complete the steps that we showed you previously to add the defect to the filing. For 2017 filings that were made before DOB Now went live, we still need to correct those defects that were reported by creating a subsequent filing. So what you'll do is log into DOB Now, and from your dashboard, you'll select plus Boiler Inspection Report, search by device ID, and in the filing actions, you can select Subsequent Filing. And the system will reach into BIS and pull over the details from that original initial inspection report. Now, the details of those defects will not appear. You'll need to look at the previous B09 to see those defects. But you'll be asked to confirm a statement that all defects reported on the B09 have been corrected or not found. Then you will continue with the filing process by uploading the required documents, signing the attestation, paying fees, and submitting the filing. Once you submit a subsequent report, the owner and the applicant will receive a confirmation. Let's pause for another knowledge check. What type of filing do you file if you need to correct defects on a 2017 report that has previously filed? The correct answer is a subsequent filing. How do you initiate a subsequent filing? There are really two ways to initiate a subsequent filing. If you're the inspector who performed the initial inspection, that filing will appear in your dashboard. So you'll go to the Filed section of your Boiler Inspection Report tab, and in the Filing Actions column, you'll select Subsequent. When the system asks if you would like to file a subsequent, click Yes and continue with the process. If you're a new inspector associated with this boiler, the Boiler Inspection Report would not appear on your dashboard. So you would need to go to your dashboard, select plus Boiler Inspection Report, and then when you enter the building information and select the boiler, the system would notify you that an initial filing has already been filed and ask if you would like to file a subsequent filing. At that point, you would respond yes and continue with the filing. Next, we'll show you how to pay for and file multiple boiler inspection reports. Let's look at another scenario. Inspections are complete for multiple boilers. The licensed professional is ready to pay for and file boiler inspection reports for 10 boilers. From your dashboard, you would go to the Not Ready to File view, and you'll want to filter the list on payment status by typing the word due in the payment status search bar. Notice how all the filings that appear have payment due. We'll highlight the reports we would like to pay for by checking the box in the row next to the report, and then over in the right, we'll click Pay Now. When we do that, a payment summary will appear. If you decide that you would like to remove any of the boilers from this particular payment, just click the Delete button to remove that boiler. and then proceed by clicking the Pay Now, and you'll be taken to the CityPay portal, which we showed you earlier. Once payment has been completed, these boiler inspection reports will move to the Ready to File tab. Highlight the reports that you would like to file by checking the box next to the row, and then over on the right, click File to submit the reports to the Department of Buildings. How many filings can I pay for or submit at once? The answer is 25. All right, let's talk about boiler not registered. So our scenario is that we create a boiler inspection report, and upon searching, the device is not found. So I'm in my boiler inspection report, and I've entered the device number, and a no boiler found for this search request message is returned. So I click OK. The system will ask if you want to submit a new BNR, or a boiler not registered, and we'll click yes. Keep in mind that you probably want to search a couple of times using different criteria to make sure the boiler doesn't actually exist in the system. So for example, if you search by device ID and do not find the boiler, you might want to try a secondary search by building ID number or address before you create the boiler not registered. Well, we said yes, and we're going to create our boiler not registered request. We'll select the filing year, and then we need to pull in the property information. And in this case, we'll use the building ID number. We'll select the bin radio button, enter the building ID number, and click search. This will pull back the information for the property where this unregistered boiler is located. You'll enter the occupancy type and the total number of residential units, and you'll save, and the property information updated successfully message will appear, and you'll click OK. Since the boiler is not in the system, we'll need to add some additional details about the boiler. Enter all information in the required fields by looking for those red asterisks. So you'll need to enter pressure type, inspection date, inspection type, boiler make and model, the BTUs, the year built, the fuel type, and the location information, the located in and floor, and check what yes or no if it's a mobile boiler. Then you would complete the remaining filing steps that we showed you earlier. The boiler not registered filing will be submitted to the DOB and will be reviewed. Once DOB review is complete, the owner and the applicant will be notified of the disposition. Typically, when there's a boiler not registered, the licensee should file a PW1 or an LAA to register the boiler. Let's now review a boiler extension request. For boiler inspection reports with defects, you have up to 180 days to correct those defects. If you believe the defects will not be corrected in that 180 days, you may want to file an extension request. Extension requests are subject to approval and require a $15 fee. Keep in mind that extension requests that are denied are subject to civil penalties if the defects have not been corrected within that 180-day window from the initial inspection date. And either the owner or the applicant can create and submit an extension request. Here's our scenario. You file the initial boiler inspection report with non-hazardous defects. It's approaching the end of the 180-day correction period, and the part required to correct the defect has not arrived. To avoid late penalties, you file an extension request. From our dashboard, we'll select Plus Boiler Extension Request. We'll enter the boiler ID or the boiler inspection report tracking number and click OK. We'll select the boiler and click OK. And then we'll complete the form, including the justification for the extension. Keep in mind you should look for all the red asterisks and complete the mandatory fields. Then you'll upload required documentation, sign the attestation, pay the $15 filing fee, and save and file. Once the Department of Buildings has reviewed your request, the extension will be granted or denied, and you'll receive an email including the decision, and if the extension has been granted, the duration. Keep in mind that you still need to file a subsequent filing to correct the defect. Let's pause. Who can submit an extension request? Owners, licensed professionals, or insurance agency inspectors can be the applicant of record and can submit extension requests. Let's talk a moment about incomplete filings. You'll notice throughout our session today that the system has a lot of business logic built in, and so the likelihood that you'll have a filing return for being incomplete is pretty small. Let's take a look at one scenario. You've submitted a fee-exempt filing and DOB determines it is incomplete. When a filing is marked incomplete, you'll receive a notification email including details on why it was marked incomplete. In this example, the DOB is looking for a valid ACRIS report. We will go to our Not Ready to File tab under Boiler Inspection Reports and look for the compliance report status of incomplete submission. Open the filing and correct the filing. In this case, we need to upload the required document, and then we'll click File. And the filing will be routed back to the Department of Buildings, and once accepted, the status will change to accepted, and you'll receive an email notification. For late filings, let's review a scenario. We've conducted an inspection, but you weren't able to submit the filing until 60 days later. Your filing is accepted by DOB with civil penalties due. As you know, inspection reports must be filed within 45 days of the initial inspection date. If you file your report late, you'll receive an email notification. Make note of the reference number shown, and we'll go to our dashboard and select Plus Make Civil Penalties Payment. We'll enter the boiler ID and click Search, and then when that information pulls up, it will display the total of the penalties owed, and we'll click Pay Now and be taken to the CityPay portal where we'll continue the payment process. That is the end of our prepared content for today. Let's take a look at what we've covered. First, we talked about DOB Now, and we let you know where to go for help. We discussed the requirements for e-filing and the importance of having the owner register for e-filing. Then we logged in and navigated within DOB Now Safety. We created our boiler inspection report with a defect, and we went in, filed a subsequent report to correct the defect. We paid for and filed multiple reports at one time. We submitted a filing for an unregistered boiler. We filed an extension request, and we paid civil penalties. And just to recap, the Department of Buildings website is your go-to resource for DOB Now information. You can get there by going to www.nyc.gov/DOB Now info. Again, a copy of this presentation and other helpful materials are posted there. And stay tuned to Buildings News and DOB Now Digest for all the latest developments with DOB Now. If you need more individual support, contact the DOB customer service team by going to www.nyc.gov/DOB Now Help, or from the DOB Now login page, click Need More Help, contact us. Thank you for joining us today. This is the conclusion of this presentation. Thank you.